Okay, so I want to talk about... We'll try and make this a little bit short because of time.
Yeah.
But the Labour Party have decided to come out and say that they don't want foreign criminals deported, seemingly under any circumstances, because... So what happens in the UK, if you get a charge of a year or more in prison, the government has the right to deport you. And this was made law in 2007. The Labour Party voted for it. And so these charter flights go on all the time. And what happens is that at the last minute, a bunch of lawyers will put in, oh, but what about this, and you have to take them off to take the case. And then people never actually end up leaving. Only a small fraction end up leaving.
Right.
So it was a couple of days ago, there was a flight ready to go back to Jamaica with 50 people on board who all had criminal offences that had more than a year in jail. They're all Jamaican citizens. And they, the people on there, some of them were for being nonces, some of them were murderers, some of them were violent criminals, all sorts of things, but they don't give a breakdown because of confidentiality.
Sure,
obviously.
but all of these people are worthy of being deported.
Absolutely. If you were going to deport someone, this is the kind of people you would deport.
Yeah.
So,
and it's all things they've been convicted for based on their own behaviour, based on evidence. Obviously, there are victims. They've got, like I said, citizenship elsewhere. Nothing about race. Nothing about arbitrariness. It seems to all be justified going into it, right?
Yep, completely liberal. So this happened a couple of days ago, and then this is the results coming out today. That lawyers yet again put in a bunch of claims for almost everyone on the plane, and only 13 of the 50 guys who are going to get deported have been deported.
Right.
So I believe one of them is a nonce, one of them's a murderer, a couple of them are guilty of manslaughter, things like this. But the rest of them just let back out, and they're all serious criminals as well. So just complete failure. And a lot of people get angry with the Conservatives over this because, why are you not getting rid of these foreign criminals? I mean, we spoke about the guys in Rochdale. Was it 3 guys?
Yep.
Who were convicted of being part of grooming gangs, raping girls, and yet we just haven't got rid of them because their legal cases are going back and forth.
And the victims keep bumping into them in Asda and things like that, don't they?
Yeah, like you just keep meeting the guy who raped you. And it's like... Okay.
And it's not just like a one-time thing. Persistent rape over time where you're trafficked around to other gangs and other people. So it's a horror story, absolute horror story.
Yeah. So this article from Sky News just gives a little bit more information. So of the people who were deported, 3 convicted of murder, another of manslaughter, while another has been sentenced for crimes like grooming, drug dealing, burglary, and robbery. According to the charities who are filing these legal claims to get them off, the lawyers had also gone to court to prevent the parents from leaving because they've got kids in the UK. So because they've been here for so long, they've established families. And the argument is that it has an effect on the children, therefore you have to keep them here. So that's what they're claiming. They're probably going to lose, but it's another attempt to make sure they don't leave.
Should have thought about that before you murdered someone.
Yeah. I mean, you have kids. Why are you out murdering people? I don't understand. But if you can get the mirror up. So all of these guys are Jamaicans, and they're saying that the argument for the kids is the problem is that they're bedwetting, they're banging their heads against walls, some are talking about suicide, therefore you have to keep these kids here. And it's like, well, yeah, that's all unfortunate, and I sympathise, but these guys did commit serious crimes and they are foreign nationals. The right thing to do is to deport them.
Can't the kids go to Jamaica with their fathers?
I presume they'll have rights to Jamaican citizenship.
Yeah. Well, they will, yeah.
So I don't know
what are we saying? Jamaica's too much of a shithole? Is that the argument? They can't bear to go to Jamaica. What's wrong with Jamaica?
That's the Labour Party's position.
It seems to be, doesn't it?
And ironically, in Parliament, they were arguing that if they get sent to Jamaica, it's a risk to their life. And it's like, what, just being there?
People live in Jamaica, Labour. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, stop being racist.
So of the people who were taken off the plane and are being kept, the government has given a statement about this. They're saying at least 9 of them were guilty of murder and rape, and they did not board the planes after the legal claims came in.
So from think of the children, can we not pivot to think of the victims?
We'll get into that.
Right, okay.
So the argument is, well, they don't have enough time, and the government has given a statement saying, look, these individuals have every opportunity to raise these claims in the days and weeks leading up to the flight. However, a significant number of the claims were not submitted until hours before the flight was due to leave, meaning murderers and rapists have been able to stay in the UK. So, thanks, leftist lawyers. You've literally got rapists off the plane, so they're still able to stay on the streets of the UK.
It's very progressive.
One of the guys who has been able to stay, he's given a statement about why he thinks what's happening to him is unjust, because I want to give a Fair argument. So he gives a statement that he's lived here for 20 years, and what the Home Office is doing to us is like torture. They are killing us. My life is here. My kids are here. I can't bring myself to tell my kids that I'm being deported. I'm not a murderer. I'm not a rapist. I made the mistake of selling drugs. This individual, Class A drugs. So, if my memory serves me right, that's heroin
crack,
cocaine, and crack, things like that. I don't really have any sympathy. Like, why were you selling drugs in a foreign country?
I would never move to a foreign country to sell drugs.
And then when they say, okay, we're sending you back, I mean...
Oh no, I committed a crime in a foreign country and now I'm being sent home.
Like, you're a family man. You've been here for 20 years.
I get what I deserve. Well, that's the thing. Like, you can say, oh, well, what about the kids? It's like, yeah, I'm a father, you know, which is why I don't go around murdering people. That's not the only reason, but, you know, it's certainly one of the stronger reasons. I don't want to ruin my children's lives by doing something ridiculous, you know, and it's you knew what you were doing. You made these choices. Now you've got to live with the consequences. And if your children are going to be angry with anyone, it should be with you.
So this actually happened back in February as well. The Guardian's talking about it, where same situation, 50 people on the flight, and ended up with only 17 of them leaving, this time 13. Yeah. So this has been a problem that's long ongoing. And the left-leaning parts of this country seem to think it's great that we could just keep them here. The government has said that they're going to come out and change the law so that if you are going to file a dispute, it has to be within a reasonable time frame, not hours before the flight, because that's obviously just delay tactics.
Yeah.
So I mentioned that the Labour Party is big on this. So if you get the next link, this source talks about 60 people, so 60 MPs and peers, who signed a petition to say that this should not be going on.
Amnesty for all? No. No nonce amnesty.
Yeah, literal nonce amnesty.
Yeah, no, that was a meme. That was a joke. And no, there should be no nonce amnesty.
So I don't think they're mentioned here, but if you go to the petition, you can get the names, and the names that are notable is Jeremy Corbyn, of course, thinks that there should be amnesty for these people. John McDonald, Diane Abbott, Bel Ricardo Addy, Kate Usuma, I don't know how you say that
one.
Yeah. Claudia Webb and Dawn Butler.
So we can just summarise these people as the communists of the Labour Party.
The unironic far left of Corbyn's Labour Party that were all given positions.
The communists don't want the murderers to be and the rapists to be sent out of the country.
Yes. I mean, this is weird enough, but to be honest, the state of the Labour Party, or at least Corbyn's clique of the Labour Party, I'm not that surprised. What I was surprised by is the weird amount of celebrity endorsement these guys got.
Really?
So if you can get the next one up. Just loads of celebrities. What is it, 50 came out? No,
82 signatories.
82, sorry. Different black celebrities said that these guys should not be deported and we shouldn't be doing this. What's interesting, of those 6 there, I just Googled each of their names. Only 2 of them are Jamaican. The rest of them are Nigerian or Ghanaian and whatnot.
So it's a race solidarity thing.
Yeah, it's just, they're black, I'm black, therefore they shouldn't be deported. It's like, yeah, but they're a murderer.
I tell you what, man, if there are any sort of French or German murderers who get caught and then deported back to France or Germany, deport every single one. Every single one. Maybe deport a couple more just to be sure. You know, like I have absolutely no racial solidarity on the basis that we're white.
What, just a couple of randos?
Yeah, just in case. Anyone who's just in the local vicinity, just grab them all and deport just to be sure. Like, we've got the pedo out, you know, like... that's wild. It's wild to me that, he's black, therefore he did nothing wrong, even if he's a convicted murderer.
This reminds me of something... I'm going to keep simping for Douglas Murray.
Okay.
That he said about, what is it, like woke simping? Where you endlessly talk about how woke you are, like Gary Lineker. Like these people, these celebrities coming out and saying it. What's funny is you got people like Naomi Campbell there who were found to have blood diamonds given to her by the president of Liberia before he was indicted. It's just like...
Jesus. Very progressive.
Yeah. Anyway, so this got sent into the Parliament. One of the Labour MPs decided to make this an urgent question, so the government had to respond to try and delay it some more so they could put in the appeals. And if we've got a highlight of the highlight reel of just the funniest parts of the debate.
Okay, well, I tell you, if it's not Boris just reaching under the table, putting a big red button on it that says deport, and then just looking them dead in the eye and slamming it, it's not going to be good enough. I'm not going to be happy.
Many of these predominantly black people set for deportation have already served their sentence.
The cost of deportation, economic, ethical, and most importantly, human, cannot be justified.
The Honourable Lady talks about human cost. Let me tell her about the human cost caused by these criminals. What about the children who have been sexually assaulted by these criminals? What about the victims who have been murdered by these people?
Mass deportation is both cruel and potentially dangerous.
Well, the Right Honourable Lady asks about whether this is the right thing to do. And the answer to that question is categorically yes, an answer that she herself gave when she voted in 2007 for the Act of Parliament under which the government is required to carry out these deportations. So the Honourable Lady herself voted for this measure.
Based.
But yeah, this went on for like an hour, and I had to clip some of it because I'll put a link in the clips. But it's really funny because the Labour Party, like even their own MPs beside them who are less radical, are like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Do we really have to?
Is this what black solidarity is?
Yeah.
Defending pedos and murderers?
And the Conservatives just had a field day. Like, there's a great speech by Philip Davies that didn't get to include, and another guy that were just like, "This is the Labour Party, really? Like pedo amnesty? What are you doing?"